Archangel Michael says, "A unbelievable incident is about to happen." God says, "A famous person has got your profile and made that final decision. Open it quickly." The air around you shifts without warning, a silence deeper than nightfall pressing against your chest. Archangel Michael says the cosmos itself bends, veiling a revelation so sudden it fractures reality's fragile edge. You sense the weight of a gaze, unseen, relentless, divine, fixing upon you from realms both near and impossibly far. God says this is no mere coincidence but the turning of a vast celestial wheel, where the hand of fate touches your profile with the ink of destiny. Somewhere in the intricate tapestry of existence, a figure of immense power, a soul bathed in light and shadow, has crossed into your orbit. This person, chosen or chosen themselves, carries the final verdict that will shape the next chapter of your soul's journey. Time fractures, slowing to the drip of molten gold, as their presence demands your immediate awakening. The moon trembled behind torn clouds as shadows stretched and recoiled, dancing on the edges of your awareness like a warning whispered by stars. Your heart thrums with a wild urgency, a pulse synced with the rhythm of unseen wings beating through the void. Archangel Michael says that every moment now is charged with a divine conflict. The betrayal of trust echoes through the skies, the silent scream of justice awaiting release. The very air feels electric, charged with the promise of transformation and the terror of unknown consequences. You stand at the precipice where human fear meets divine will, the edge so sharp it could cleave your soul. God says the universe watches, breath held tight in the chest of eternity, as this chosen moment unfolds. In the distance, a storm brews not of rain or thunder but of spiritual reckoning, clashing energies poised to rewrite your fate in blazing fire and sacred light. Your spirit is a battlefield, shadows creep, but light claws back, relentless and true. This unseen hand moves swiftly, unstoppable, carrying the power to shatter chains and break silent bonds that once held you prisoner. Your vision blurs and sharpens in impossible waves, the sky fracturing into shards of pure sapphire and blood-red flame. Archangel Michael says you are not alone. Forces older than time itself march beside you, their armor forged from celestial resolve. The betrayal you sensed is only the surface. Beneath lies a web of cosmic deceit spun by those who feared your rise. Yet their fear fuels your awakening, igniting a firestorm that no darkness can smother. This is the hour when the soul is tested by the divine forge, when the final choice is whispered across the void and destiny's voice roars to life. The night itself seems to pulse, alive with hidden eyes watching, waiting for the moment the decision breaks free. God says listen closely to the silence, it is loud with the promise of reckoning and the echo of redemption. Your breath catches as the first tremors of change ripple through your being, a call to stand firm against the coming storm. The air shivers with potential, the unseen hand moving ever closer to reveal the truth that will set your spirit ablaze or cast it into shadow. The stars, once distant fires, now blaze with a fierce intensity, illuminating paths both forbidden and sacred. Archangel Michael says the time to open the sealed door has come, to face what was hidden and embrace the transformation waiting in the wings of chaos. The weight of the famous figure's gaze presses heavy, a verdict poised to crack open the sky and pour down divine justice. The air hums with the sound of inevitability. Your moment has arrived. Darkness folds around you like a living cloak, thick with the scent of betrayal and cold iron. God says this veil conceals more than lies. It harbors the fractures within your own spirit, where trust was broken and promises dissolved into ash. The night's breath carries whispers of hidden enemies masquerading as allies, their smiles sharp knives veiled in celestial light, their hands stained with shadows you once called kin. The moon trembled behind torn clouds, casting fractured silver upon a landscape torn between salvation and ruin. Archangel Michael says the air is thick with spiritual conflict, a battleground unseen yet felt deep in your bones. You move through a labyrinth of memories, each step echoing with the betrayal you denied, the wounds you hid beneath layers of faith and hope. The familiar becomes a mask, and the truth a blade poised to sever illusions crafted by those who feared your rise. God says the time to unravel these threads is now, to peel back the veil and expose the raw heart of the deception. The silence around you hums with latent power, the kind that cracks stone and sunders the sky, ready to unleash divine justice upon the betrayers cloaked in false light. Your soul, fragile yet fierce, trembles on the edge of awakening, caught between the pain of revelation and the promise of redemption. Surreal visions flicker, faces dissolving into smoke, voices blending with the sigh of the wind, and eyes glowing with the fire of forgotten truths. Archangel Michael says these are the echoes of your spiritual battle, the clash between darkness and light writ large upon the canvas of your existence. Each betrayal, each broken trust, pulses like a heartbeat beneath the surface, waiting for the moment to erupt in a crescendo of divine reckoning. The moonlight fractures as the night swells with tension, the air heavy with the scent of impending transformation. God says your spirit stands at a crossroads, the choices laid bare in radiant pain and shimmering hope. The veil will fall, not gently but with the force of celestial winds, tearing away the comfortable lies to reveal the raw, sacred core beneath. This unveiling is both punishment and blessing, a chance to reclaim what was stolen and forge a new covenant with your destiny. The shadows writhe, desperate to hold their secrets, but the light presses relentlessly, an unyielding tide that will not be turned. Archangel Michael says your courage must be greater than your fear, your faith stronger than the poison whispered by the deceivers. The cosmic scales tilt, balancing betrayal with justice, doubt with certainty, and beneath it all burns the fierce glow of your undying soul. God says listen closely to the silence that follows, for it is pregnant with possibility. The dark veil will lift, revealing not only the faces of your betrayers but the strength you carry to overcome them. This is the crucible of your transformation, the sacred fire that will refine your spirit and forge your path forward. The night trembles once more as the veil parts, a threshold crossed with the weight of divine destiny. The stars flicker like watchful eyes, each a witness to the unfolding truth and the battle waging within you. Archangel Michael says the choice before you is clear, though its consequences ripple far beyond your sight. The veil's fall heralds both an end and a beginning, a breaking open of chains and a call to rise anew, stronger and unbroken. Your journey, shrouded in shadows, is now illuminated by the fierce light of truth. The night air vibrates with a heavy pulse, as if the very fabric of existence holds its breath before a cataclysm. Archangel Michael says the heavens crack open like a shattered mirror, reflecting the raw fury of divine justice unleashed upon those who dared betray your soul. Flames of celestial fire dance across the sky, burning away illusions and deceit, leaving scorched truth in their wake. God says this moment is the crucible where the scales tip, where long-suppressed righteousness surges forth like a tempest. The hidden enemies who once cloaked themselves in light now stand exposed, their masks melting into ash beneath the relentless gaze of cosmic judgment. The air thickens, heavy with the scent of sacred retribution, a divine decree written in the stars, irreversible and absolute. Your spirit trembles with the weight of this reckoning, poised between destruction and renewal. The moon trembled behind torn clouds, casting a fractured glow on a battlefield unseen but deeply felt. Archangel Michael says the forces aligned with you surge forward, their wings slicing through the darkness with a radiant fury, the clash echoing through the void like thunder beneath the earth. Every betrayal is met with a justice swift and fierce, the balance restored by a hand both tender and merciless. God says, listen to the roar of the cosmos. It is the sound of your soul rising from ashes and chains, shaking free from the shadows that sought to bind it. The enemy's light flickers, revealing its hollowness, the counterfeit radiance that cannot withstand the true fire of divine will. Around you, the spiritual battlefield is ablaze with a tumultuous light, a clash of forces that will leave no corner untouched. The stars burn with a fiery intensity, their brilliance casting long shadows that writhe and recoil in agony. Archangel Michael says you stand at the epicenter of this cosmic upheaval, your courage and faith the pillars upon which justice leans. The struggle is fierce, the stakes eternal, yet within this maelstrom lies a seed of transformation, a promise that through pain, your spirit will be reforged in the fire of sacred truth. God says this breaking point is a test of all you have become, the final reckoning before the dawn. The weight of betrayal crashes down like thunder, yet beneath the storm, a calm pulse of divine grace persists, offering a pathway through the chaos. The night trembles, alive with the energy of impending change, and the earth beneath your feet shifts as the tides of destiny turn irrevocably in your favor. Your vision blurs and sharpens, waves of divine light cascading over the fractured landscape of your soul. Archangel Michael says the enemy's fortress crumbles, their dark towers falling into the abyss as your spirit rises, unbound and illuminated. The cosmic scales balance at last, justice rendered in fire and light, and a new chapter begins to unfold beneath the shattered moon and blazing stars. God says, hold fast to this moment, for it is the threshold between old wounds and new beginnings. The battle is fierce but not endless. Divine mercy waits beyond the storm, a sanctuary where your soul can heal and soar. The breaking point is not the end but the crucible from which your true power will emerge, shining brighter than any star in the night. A silence, thick and suffocating, settles over the cosmic battlefield as the last echoes of the clash fade into a spectral twilight. Archangel Michael says the final choice hangs in the balance, a razor-thin line between salvation and despair, written not by mortal hand but by a famous figure whose gaze holds the power to reshape your destiny. This moment, suspended between worlds, pulses with divine urgency. Each breath drawn is a step closer to irrevocable transformation. God says the verdict is not distant or abstract but a living presence, heavy as a storm cloud ready to break. Your spirit stands at the crossroads, where the road behind is scorched with betrayal and the path ahead gleams with radiant possibility. The famous figure, anointed by light and shadow, has made the decision, their silent judgment flowing toward you like a river of molten silver, its current impossible to resist or deny. The moon trembled behind torn clouds, casting fractured shadows over the twisting pathways that converge beneath your feet. Archangel Michael says the air is charged with tension so thick it tastes like iron, the kind of pressure that births transformation through fire. Each heartbeat drums a warning, this is the crucible where old identities burn away, and a new self emerges, forged in divine will and fierce resolve. God says listen carefully to the unseen forces swirling around you, their voices blend into a chorus of hope and warning. This is not merely a moment of choice but a portal to profound rebirth, a liminal space where your soul's true nature will be revealed. The famous figure's decision acts as a key, unlocking chains, tearing down walls, and opening a path that promises both liberation and profound challenge. Surreal visions cascade before your eyes, golden light weaving through storm-darkened skies, celestial wings unfurling against the backdrop of a shattered moon. Archangel Michael says these are the omens of your metamorphosis, signs that divine justice and mercy dance in tandem, each step forward marked by both sacrifice and salvation. The crossroads pulse with energy, the tension a crucible for the soul's ultimate awakening. God says the final decision is a blessing and a test, demanding courage beyond what you have known and faith beyond what you can see. The storm around you is not the end but the prelude to a dawn steeped in grace and power. The famous figure's choice is a spark set to ignite the embers of your spirit, transforming wounds into wisdom, betrayal into strength, and darkness into light. The stars blaze overhead like eternal sentinels, their glow a testament to the unfolding miracle within you. Archangel Michael says stand firm at this crossroads, for the path you take will echo through eternity, shaping not just your fate but the destiny of countless souls touched by your journey. The decision made is irrevocable, a divine decree written in fire and sacred breath. God says hold fast to the promise whispered in the winds of change, that from the ashes of trial rises the phoenix of your spirit, radiant and unbreakable. The crossroads may be shrouded in uncertainty, but their power is undeniable, a testament to the divine plan unfolding beyond mortal comprehension. As the famous figure's verdict reaches you, your soul bends but does not break, poised to step into the radiant dawn awaiting just beyond the horizon. The first light of dawn pierces the fractured night, a silver blade cutting through lingering shadows with unyielding clarity. Archangel Michael says this radiant dawn is the culmination of the divine conflict, a moment when justice and mercy intertwine in a sacred embrace. The air shivers with the weight of finality, alive with the hum of transformation, a profound peace born from the storm of spiritual battle. God says the moment you have long awaited has arrived, carried on the wings of unseen angels and whispered by the breath of eternity. The famous figure's decision has set in motion a new reality, one where the chains of betrayal shatter like glass beneath the hammer of divine will. Your spirit, once battered and broken, now glows with an unbreakable light, a beacon blazing across the vast cosmos to guide lost souls toward redemption. The moon trembled behind torn clouds one last time, fading as the heavens opened in a cascade of golden light and soft, healing rains. Archangel Michael says this is the sacred resolution, a blessing forged in the crucible of pain and tempered by the fire of unwavering faith. The cosmic scales balance at last, tipping toward grace and renewal, while the enemy's shadows dissolve into the nothingness from which they came. God says your soul's journey continues, but now with the armor of divine truth and the shield of spiritual justice. The wounds inflicted by betrayal begin to heal, bathed in the gentle light of forgiveness, not for others, but for yourself. This dawn is not an end but a profound beginning, a sacred promise whispered across the heavens that no darkness can ever extinguish the eternal flame within you. The stars sparkle with a newfound brilliance, each one a silent witness to your transformation and triumph. Archangel Michael says rise now in the full radiance of your being, unburdened and fearless, a living testament to the power of divine intervention. The night's terrors fade into memory, replaced by the soothing balm of celestial peace flowing through your veins like a healing river. God says rest in this moment, bathed in the light of divine love and shielded by the strength of countless angels. The path ahead is lit with sacred fire and gentle hope, your heart a compass guided by truth and courage. The radiant dawn of divine resolution has arrived, a new day unfolding with endless possibility and the quiet certainty that you are forever held in the embrace of infinite grace.